Welcome back, guys, and thank you for tuning in. You guys asked for it, so here it is. Learn how to make your own Zalando bot. We will go over everything you need to know on creating your own bot. We will bypass all the securities, including your familiar AKAMAI security. I've taught over 70 people how to make their dream bots, so don't miss out on this opportunity. And this is a pre-order, so this should be out in 2 to 3 weeks, or even sooner. In the next week, I will be selecting 2 people to unlock the Zalando free. What you guys need to do is, you gotta sign up right here, put in your email, okay, just like this, and you'll be entered to win this course for entirely free. In this course, you'll be able to get the product, add it to cart, purchase it under 4 seconds. You might think this course is expensive, but all my courses have their values. They hold their values. Again, when this course officially releases, this price will go up. So don't miss out on this opportunity and get the course right now. Again, if you guys got any questions, okay, just any questions, just send me a message at shoebot0@gmail.com and I'll see you inside. Peace, and let's see a preview of this course. Alright, just hold on, guys. I'll show you guys how to make your own Zalando bot as fast as possible, and you're gonna have the most powerful bot out there. So using request-based method bot, meaning you're gonna call some APIs and you're gonna do all this process as fast as possible. Stop using Selenium, that's not gonna work. You're gonna be detected as a bot, or some Chrome extension that barely work, and don't even think about the autofills. You're gonna get you're not even gonna copy the item. So stop taking some L's and then get the course. Look how easy and fast this bot is. You click your size, small, start a task, boom, 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 confirming purchase, processing, it got declined. The reason why is because I used some fake information. So I'll show you guys a preview of my courses, and please look at the link in the description to get your course for Zalando. I'm not even kidding. Alright, so welcome back, guys, to another video on how to create your own Zalando bot. So this is going to be a request-based method bot, so it's going to be super duper fast, and we'll be botting on the Zalando site. So you can bot on any type of website in Zalando. So right now I'm on the UK, but you can go for like Italy, for any other websites. It will work for any region, any country, any of them. And it's all pretty easy. We're going to bypass a lot of securities such as AKAMAI, that's one of the big one. And it's pretty simple how we're going to do it. Of course, I'm not going to reveal it in the preview course. But yet again, guys, like, I just want to show you guys just a sneak peek of what you guys are going to do. So let's get started into the video. So first, what we're going to do is we're just going to browse the site, have an idea how the site works, and then when we're done that, then we'll see what we need before we start, and then we'll start with creating in our application. Alright, so of course the drops are always going to be on shoes or on sneakers. So you can see the sneaker release and see what shoes is dropping. As long as you have the link itself, you can actually go on the product itself. So it's really cool what you can do. So this is just the app that I have for the bot. We'll see that a bit later. And we see that it's going to start at 15th of July at 3 a.m. And I promise you, this bot cooks. Like, when I'm telling you it cooks, it cooks. So this is where you're going to be do your task, but we're going to look further into the video and the course how you can have multiple tasks and get your shoes that you want. But we're just going to test this on just a normal shoe that they have on their site, so it's easy for us to get it. So the shoe that we're going to try to use today it's going to be this shoe. So right now I have a Chrome extension that is blocking my thing, so I'll just remove the extension just for right now, and I'll just reload the page. And this is our site, okay? Normally you have the link itself. Sometimes it does not allow you the direct link, so just keep that in mind. But from my experience, I believe you always get the link. That could be a question. I'm not really used to Zalando because like I'm US based, but I did some testing on Zalando. So how does the site work? So if you right click and you press inspect, you have a bunch of elements of the page on this side for the elements. So if you like right click on that certain button, it'll show you exactly where the button is. So this is not the method that we're gonna do. This is for Selenium way, or Puppeteer, sorry if I said it right. This way is super slow, and I'm telling you guys, you do not want to use Selenium. You're gonna get detected as a bot, and you won't be able to bypass AKAMAI. So if you look, there's elements, there's console, there's sources, and there's network. So console is what we're gonna be using a lot while trying to debugging our bot. This is gonna be very useful to see if we were able to bypass AKAMAI and if you're able to get the right cookies. If you look at sources, these are all like the images, the folders that is able to display that kind of site. And then when we get to our network, this is all the stuff that loads. So if I clear this and I refresh, it's going to load everything, all the scripts, all the images, and everything. And this is the main request, and we get a get request. So that means that we're getting information from that certain server. So I like to visual. I'm a visualized person. So I'll just notes. I'm not going to use Notepad. I'm going to use Paint to show you guys how it basically works. So you got your guy, Mr. Joe. He wants some shoes. You know, he wants some sneakers, right? But my boy Joe wants some sneakers, right? He wants some Joe. Call him Joe. He wants some sneakers. But for him to get those shoes, he needs to be on a computer and then get the shoes and do the request. But how it works and how the server works with what we see here is we have this server, okay? We have this server, okay, that manages the website. That's what we see. We have like the web. This is what we have. We have the web, okay? This is gonna be the web, and every time that you do a request, right, it'll get information from the server, and this is what we call a get request. We're actually asking the server for information, and we'll get it in return to our web page, and that's what we have right here. There's another request that we call it's a post request, and that's when you're sending data from the site, from the user to the server, so you can get a response back, and that's what we called a post request. There's different kind of requests that we're going to go over the course, but those are the main requests that you're going to do on the server. So the problem that we have here, okay, is that I can't be using the product that we just used because for some reason I'm re-recording this again, just because I can't find the product on the page. I think it got deleted, so I'm gonna just continue with like a different product, and I'm gonna go with this sort of product. So if we click right click and we click inspect, then again we have our network. So you can see that every time that I move my mouse, some stuff starts loading in. So those are those images, but for some reason sometimes you should be getting other kind of stuff, other requests while you're moving. And in this scenario, I'm not getting anything, which I mean, there's not a lot of securities. But when you click like choose your size, there's some stuff that starts popping in. You know what I mean? And sometimes like this API is just sending data to the server to tell the server that we are a human being, and it's tracking every step that we're doing. And here is the headers, and this is what we have. So basically what's going on is that there's two different kind of requests that we've just explained, the post and get request. So when we do a get request, this is, again, we're asking the server to do some stuff. And the request headers is all what we have here. And the request headers is sometimes what we use. We gotta use the request headers to send that data to the response headers. But when we use the request headers, we can sort of bypass securities so we can get a return. So here in our example, this is our request headers. We know that the content type is just text plain. Sometimes there's application JSON, is the sort of data that we have to send to the server. But what I have here, my payload is what I'm sending, like the information, like all the stuff that I'm sending to the server. The payload is like sort of like let's say you buy something from Amazon and you want to send it back to Amazon. The product is going to be your payload. But the Amazon product needs to be verified. It needs to be correct. You can't just send any just random stuff to Amazon, because then they're not going to respond to you because they don't know who you are. So with cookies, they can actually track who you are, and you won't be detected as a fraudulent Amazon seller. So that's why you need those certain cookies, and you can actually generate those cookies. And there's different ways to bypass securities, but the main one here, what we have here, whenever you see BM_SV in that cookie, it means that they're most likely using a security called AKAMAI. AKAMAI, I don't know if I spelled it right or said it right, but it's one of the toughest security out there for is used for SNKRS, which is the Nike app. So again, we have the ABCK cookie. We have all those cookies, and they're all getting generated from a certain script. And I'll show you guys how we can actually bypass it. But that's, of course, in the full course. That's where we're going to see it. Again, what's also important to not get detected, which is very important, is the user agent. We're going to see how we can add headers to our bot so we don't get detected as a bot. And just, you got to act like a real customer. So everything that you see in the headers, make sure you recreate it on the website. So make sure you're able to parse through the website and having the refer link. That's exactly what you need. And those are all the cookies that we need. So I know there's a lot of cookies. So like this is a cookie, this is a cookie. There's some cookies that are way more important than others. Like this, like if you don't add this cookie, you won't need it. All right. So what's going on, right? So I'm just gonna open and just give you an idea like how the cookies works. So the cookie works is basically you have your box. Okay, we're gonna call it. So we have a bunch of cookies. And every time that you do a request, like when we're going to do our bot, every time you do a request, we can ask the server, okay, I'm going to do a request to your server, and the server is going to give you back some cookies. And with our cookie container, that's what we're going to call it, we're going to store all those cookies. So then if we have to do another post request, so like let's say add to cart, we can use those cookies and we're going to respond back. But because those cookies right here are like legit, then the server will allow you to do a request to add to cart. But if you didn't have those cookies, you won't be able to get you won't be able to do that post request. The server will actually give you a return of like 403 or like a 401 502, and when you get those numbers, that means that there's like an error. If you did get a good request, you should get like a response code of like 200, 201. Most of them like that. You can look it up online what it means, so it's easy for you. But here you see I did a post request. It's here in this case it's a 202. So anything in the family of 200 it should work. And this is where we send our data. So there's different type of ways. We can't just, and I'll show you guys how to build the data and then send it to the server. There's different ways. You know, like you're not gonna type all of this, but this is what we have as of right now. And as what we get back from here is we don't really get a cookie, but this is not where actually we're going to find the cookie for ABCK, and it's going to be a different method that we're going to be using. But I just want to show you guys, so I just clear this. If I decide to click size 4, again there's also data that's going through. This is actually where you're going to get the cookie. So again, I forgot to mention this. So when we're doing our code, before doing the add to cart, we have to generate those cookies. And what we have here is we have the request headers, and those are the cookies we need to do a post request to this link. And then in return, we'll get the ABCK cookie and the other cookies that we need to do our next request. Because now we click the size, and now we need to do this one. So what we have is we have our cookies, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna generate it, and we're gonna make other we're gonna look at how we can do these kind of requests and to get our cookie back. Because like if you try to do a post request to this link with the data that you have, it's not gonna work. I can tell you this, it's not gonna work, and you won't get the right cookie you need. But it's pretty simple. I mean, it's not the easiest. That's why you should get the AIO package to understand how, because this course is a bit more advanced for sneaker development. But again, it's still like you don't need really coding experience. I'll show how to do this. But here we have the request headers, and the request headers is what we're sending to that certain server. So we have to make sure all the cookies are good and all our headers are good. And the response headers is what we get back from the server. So when we get back, we get cookies, right? But we also get response headers. And response headers, we can actually parse to this cookie and actually get the value that we need. So this is the payload. The sensor data is just, it's a big string, which is like, it's not really encrypted, but it just shows that you're like a human being. And then response, you get a success true. That means that the sensor data was correct. It was good. You definitely got an ABCK cookie. But we have to make sure that that cookie is actually valid, because I see a lot of videos about, oh, they make a cookie, right? But it's not actually valid. You can't actually use that cookie in your request, and you're gonna get some errors. So if you actually double click on it, you get a full page like this, right? I mean, you can't really read this. It's so complicated. You can't really read what's going on, right? It's just a bunch of stuff together, whatever. It's I don't know what's going on here, but you can actually Control C this, and you can go on the site. You can I forgot the word. It's that, and there's different tools you can use. But in my things, I will use a certain tool that I'll be using. Like sometimes I use this one, but sometimes I'll have my own script. Like I'll actually edit my own, so then I can parse through it. But normally you just paste it here, and it'll rearrange it, so it's easy for you to understand how the function works. You see, it's way more visible on how they're able to create. Because what basically this like site is, it's basically creating. It's using your site, like all the certain factors, like what time it is, what day we are. Okay, use all those factors of your PC2, and it creates the sensor data, and that's what we need. And that function, we can actually read how it's being created. So there's a bunch of lines of codes just all together. Okay, we're not going to go through all of this because there's only there's certain functions that we need to actually create it. I know exactly which one we need, so you guys don't have to go through all of it, but I'll give you an idea how I was able to do it in the course. So that's gonna be really cool, and that's basically how we're gonna go parse through it. Guys can try it out, but I mean, like, there's like so many lines you have to go through, but me will actually bypass this part, like all of this, so you won't even really need to do this. But that's just an idea if you guys want to like bought Nikes or other websites. This is where you're gonna have to go through. It's a long process, so again, AKAMAI is like a really hard step about security, so that's why I suggest you guys to not do this. It's kind of a pain in the ass. So yeah, so now we're really ready to add to cart our size 4, and then when we add to bag, then the first request we see is this. That's the sensor data, and then we have add to cart. So that's the API that we're calling, and we're doing a post request. So we're sending data to the server, and we get different type of stuff. We get our ABCK token. We get this cookies that we're gonna need in the future. And the most important part is our headers. So there's different types of headers. We have our custom headers, which are XSRF token. This again will be generated. Sometimes those tokens are actually in the website itself. So if you right click and you view the page first, there's a bunch of stuff here. Sometimes the headers are in there, So like for Supreme, I know they're in there, but for Zalando, they're not in there. You're gonna actually have to go through the scripts that generate this through here, and same thing for here. Most of them are not actually on the source code of the website, but it's actually generated from one of these scripts over here, but it's not these scripts but other scripts, and that's how we can generate. So there's a lot of stuff that we can do, but my bot, the request based method bot that we're going to be making, is going to bypass through all of that, so it's going to be even more simpler. I don't want to go through a very technical bot, because I know a lot of you guys, I mean, it's kind of probably your first time botting or you're intermediate, so we're not actually going to go through this sort of method. I mean, it could be one of them, but it's a long process, but we're going to be able to make the bot. And what we have here, when we're done, again, we're going to do a GET request to that certain page, and then we just continue looking through all the stuff, the cart. We can see the different headers, what requests we're doing. We're doing requests here. We're going to check out. We have to create our account, so that's a very important part. So in this bypass, you're gonna have to need to have an account. I'll be making maybe in the course in the future on how to create your own account. That could be one that just registering for an account and creating a bunch of accounts. But as of right now, I won't be creating like a login process here. You're gonna have to create your own account, and you're gonna have to put it in the bot. But you can have multiple tasks. And after that, you go to checkout, you process the payment, and it's pretty simple. Because when you're done like adding to cart, like the securities are still there, but I mean it's pretty much like pretty repetitive. It's just the beginning where you have to get the product, select the size, and then add to cart. That's where the securities are going to be there. For some reason it works normally, but this bot speed should be around, like last time I checked was like 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and you can have like multiple tasks. So it's very powerful. You can have a lot of tasks you want, but that's basically how we're gonna go through. This is basically like a quick introduction to the Zalando bot. There's a lot of stuff we can do. Like there's different, like what you're gonna learn from the course is, again, you're gonna go through the course. You're gonna be able to create your own bot, have an understanding of with so basically this script is gonna be written in JavaScript, and there's a bunch of other stuff that we're gonna be doing. So it's gonna be really cool. It's not gonna be in C#. I could convert it to C# if you guys really need, but as of right now, I think JavaScript is gonna be the way to go, because it's easy to convert it to C# when you've done the script. And when you're done that, we know exactly how the server works, so we can actually get into the video and actually creating the bot itself with JavaScript. It's gonna be really cool. It shouldn't be too long, but it's really gonna be like a cool experiment on how we're gonna use the bot and just a request method bot. And then was I missing anything? Yeah, and you can use that for any sites, whatever. It's all gonna work. Just make sure to look at your network. And if you have any questions, just let me know through the video in the comment section, or just send me an email, and I could try to help you out. But let's get into actually creating and starting the coding process. So once you're done with the course, you'll be able to get a bot just like this. It's not really like a Chrome extension that I have here, the ShoeBot Zalando, but it's going to be doing some calls to the APIs through request-based method bot. It's not going to be auto-clicking. It's going to be fully request-based. So if you click your size 8, it's going to get all the size, and you're going to start the task. And then sometimes it's going to be processing. Right here. It barely took 2 seconds, and now it's processing Of course, because I didn't get a perfect process, it didn't add to cart. It did add to cart, and then I went to the checkout, and then it tried to process it, but I used a fake account, so that's why it's not gonna check out. But it did add to cart and everything. I'll just show you guys another example with where it just adds to cart and it has like a problem with it. So I'll just go size 7, start the task, boom, 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 boom. Oh, well, never mind. It still removes it from the cart if you get payment decline. But I'll go for an item that I know for sure it won't remove. I'll try this code, start the tasks. So again, it's not removing, but I can assure you it's actually adding to cart. Now for, if I preload it, maybe you see here something went wrong. That just shows that it was able to add it to cart, and now we've made it stuck onto the checkout page. But you can actually see that it's going through all the requests, and it's actually doing some requests to the APIs. So again, that's how fast my bot is. I'm not sure if I'm going to sell only just the bot itself, but I'm pretty sure the bot will also be included with the course. So then I sell it as a package. If you guys are interested in just the bot itself, just please email me and we could try to figure out something out. If you guys want access to my entire course, you can guys look in the link below in the description. You'll have access to the entire full course with all the tips and all the bypass securities. And if not, well, it's okay. I'll be posting more videos regarding the course, but it'll only be just a sneak peek. So if you guys have any questions, just email me and I'll be happy to answer. And please guys, subscribe to my channel and like this video.